make sure I get this for
Daytona was wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looked like it was a blast.
The people storming the track was not expected like that though. That was
Really?
yeah, that was wild, man. Somebody actually got
Oh my
hit too.
gosh. Really?
Yeah, I seen someone get hit, like no joke.
How?
Because they stormed the track right before the straightaway before the finish line. So coming out of that turn, there was nothing the guy could do. Yeah.
Jeez. That's insane.
I'm glad this track shaped up the way it did though, considering the rain they had.
Sheesh. All right. I think we should be clued in right now. I think that, okay, yep, we're good.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the TCE Supercross live watch party. Of course, I am your host with the most, with the pretty face, Mr. Dave Drakes, and I'm joined by one of my boys, one of my buddies. I know it was Black History Month last month. You're going to see his face anyway. One dude that's probably more of a diehard moto guy than myself. It's the one and only Mr. James Scott. What's going on, brother?
What up, man? Thanks for having me. Thanks for hitting me up. How you been?
I've been good. I've been kind of just nonstop going wide open for the season. We're here. We're live. The program's been kicking off, and it's been awesome. Gate dropped for the 250 heat number 1, and already carnage. They got one of the PC boys, and always happens like that. But everything's been going good. Like I said, I met James years ago at the track.
Yeah.
Walked up to him and was like, "You get the Black Guy Racer newsletter?"
and the only person out there, like, that was black. So I was just like, where did these two come from?
Yeah, it was me and my other buddy of ours, Steve. We were just riding, so became good buddies. And he's done some AJ classes with me and some other cool stuff, and lots of moto schools with Euphoria MX in Wisconsin and a bunch of other cool things that we've been doing. So I'm stoked to have him on. James, quick background on how you got into the sport and where you plan to take it from the future.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I ran across the sport back when moto and anything with an engine was on speed. And every Sunday, me and my dad would pretty much watch NASCAR or anything that was on speed around lunchtime, you know. And I just so happened to see a commercial for Jacksonville Supercross. Mind you, I had a dirt bike, but I knew nothing about motocross. So we went to it, and this was just so happened to be the year where Stewart and Reed were going back and forth, I think in 09, back on San Manuel. And I just fell in love with it. So, of course, didn't have the money to just jump on a bike, didn't know much about it, sport. So I just started doing Xbox games, getting magazines, like YouTube, the whole nine, until I got old enough to be able to afford it after I moved up here. And then just bit the bullet, bought a bike in 2018, a 07 125 YZ. And that taught me a lot about build-up bikes. So I had to.
Do you still have that bike?
Yeah, I still have it. It's still whatever.
I gotta throw you some cash for that thing.
It's actually pretty mint for a 07, like the aluminum frame and stuff. So yeah, I bought that, and then during COVID, I just kept trying to fix it. And one day, something broke on it. I just didn't feel like fixing, so I ended up going and getting a 2020 CRF 250R, and that's what I ride now. So it's getting the job done.
And we're gonna make it to the Redders one day, right, James? I mean,
yeah, man. Well,
we've been talking about it. We're going the Redders.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to have to push myself and do that. The whole camper thing, all that. I'm trying to catch up on all the years I did.
Be careful, because you'll be hooked and addicted.
Yeah, no,
real fast. Anyone in the chat will tell you guys what's going on in the chat. If this is your first time, welcome. This is our Supercross live watch party that we do relatively every weekend that we're not at the races for. I will be in St. Louis next weekend, so won't be able to do this one, guys, but I think we'll be doing one of these for Seattle. Shout out before we get started to all of our amazing sponsors: FXR Moto, Flow Vision Goggles, Overshare Advice and Planning, EVS Equipment, Speed and Sport Adventures, and Evans Power Coolant. Thank you to everybody who makes it possible. And don't forget, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and use the promo codes that we have in the description below for this video, for this live stream, rather. You guys will be able to save a ton of money when it comes to all of your moto needs. Want to make sure that we keep hooking you guys up. every weekend and doing some cool stuff with you guys. So continue to keep supporting us. We really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Mike McSwain in the chat. Stoked to see you guys next weekend. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Already we saw Deacon go down, pushed is that whose bike was that? Was that
I thought that was McAdoo.
the McAdoo's bike?
Yeah, I think so. They got tied
Okay.
up pretty well. Yeah,
Somebody's bike. And yeah, a little bit of extra little angst in that bike toss. That was a little
happening to
crazy.
Deegan a lot though. Like it happened at Daytona too. It's just like not a
I don't
crazy
know what
crash, but just something weird that just stops.
It was Hammaker. Oh crap! So Hammaker, like, what do you? I mean, James, you've been watching this races religiously. You were at Daytona last weekend, saw the action up close and personal for yourself. What does it look like to you for Deegan? Because some people are saying, oh, he's crumbling under the pressure. He's getting a little too ahead of himself.
Here's my
rookie. What do you think?
I might be the unpopular opinion, but for me, I feel like any kid in that age being able to line up, that's enough. Like after that point, whether he gets last or not, whatever, right? That's just my opinion. But they're saying you're cracking under pressure. Man, if 100 people was watching me ride for money or something, I would crack. So at the same time, it's like it's going to happen. Like it's the second year. Just because you have a star deal doesn't mean you need to go out and just, like Carmichael or McGrath it up just because you have the means to. Like it's a puzzle you got to put together every night. You're not a robot, But I think he'll come around. Like it is what it is. Everybody gets that jitter in whatever form or fashion, and it just happens.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just maybe it could be a little bit of just like that young guy, like that what do you call it? Like that extra gumption they have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got the fire in your chest. You got
like that little fire in you, which makes you a little bit like
edgy,
a little bit more loose when it comes to like the race strategy. You kind of get in your head, you kind of overthink, you go a little bit extra, a little bit deeper in corners,
right?
And these mistakes kind of happen like that. So I think that's what we're seeing in Deegan. I hope he calms it down a little bit. Obviously, this dude is world class. We all know this guy is a championship contender. He can win races. He's won a race already this season. Super young kid. I just want to see him smooth it out and just stay away from these like first turn crashes and stuff like that. Because I think the dude is absolutely badass.
Because
I want to see him battle with the big boys. I want to see him and McAdoo head to head. I want to see Anstey in there and see what happens. You know what I mean? I think it's cool. But James, first time that in recent history that we've been to Alabama for this one, the dirt looks like it's pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Orlando Supercross with like with like that reddish kind of like maybe like the Georgia Dome kind of kind of soil. Doesn't look to be like it's super rutted, but it could overnight. Maybe some transitions, whoops could break down. I don't know if you watch a little bit of qualifying, but they were getting caught up in some ruts. Who do you think is going to shine tonight with this type of soil, this type of dirt?
Man, in the 250s, I mean, it could get a little bit technical, even though it's not rough. Vial looked pretty good last weekend, and the conditions were similar. Even though the dirt was not as consistent as this last weekend, I'm not a bandwagon person, but it's going to be technical because of how rough it is. It seems more so than just like flat out fast. So I'm going to have to go with Vial tonight in 250s. Not down the Deegan train or any of that, but I think Vial looked pretty good. But then Angsty, he always just looks like a beast regardless. So
he does, man. That's the cool thing to me is like I didn't have Vial in my like guys that will win a race this season. I don't know why. Shout out to Cody Shock, the Club MX boys, FXR teammates. Stoked to see those guys get one. Cody Shock's a super cool dude, so shout out to that team. But I didn't have Vial on my short list. I don't know if anybody in the chat did. Let me know if you did. I certainly didn't. But I think Vial, it's that outdoor style, right? You got a Moto GP guy, or MXGP rather. He's used to these like really beat up rough tracks. Not sure if he's used to them being so tight and technical, which is sort of still kind of a surprise to me that he won. But it was really cool to see that. Another thing that I wanted to kind of mention is I feel like there's been a little bit of back and forth on who has the better coast. If it's the East Coast boys, if it's the West Coast boys, who has the better out of all of those both the coasts? In your opinion, James, who is it? Are the West Coast guys faster than the East Coast guys?
I feel like the West Coast guys have like smoother tracks, so it's hard to say, but I feel like East Coast just does it better because of the roughness. Like to still push up top with PC guys from West on the East Coast track, like that's a whole different ball game. I think East is definitely faster.
I have to say the same thing, and maybe we're just being biased because we're East Coast guys, but, but I
Yeah.
don't know, guys in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think the East Coast guys are.
You hear Dave?
All right, we're back.
Okay.
Technical difficulties all over the place.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I don't know if that was me or not. What happened?
No, that's it. Might be on my end, but no technical difficulties as always, guys. There's no excuses. We're trying to do multiple streams and also multiple people, so apologies. We're gonna have some. We'll work the bugs out over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, for me, James, I think the tracks are rougher. They break down a little bit harder. Steve's even saying in the chat, East Coast guys have rougher tracks. I definitely agree. So the fact that we're still seeing really flowy riding styles, really good battles, that just goes to show you these guys are actually flying. I think they have a little bit more speed on the East Coast. And I want you guys to be able to tell me for yourselves by clicking the link below for the Collective Experience 2024 Moto VIP fan experience, or our industry shaking internship program where you guys can go behind the scenes with some of your favorite teams courtesy of us, and you guys are able to take your passions to the next level. If you guys want to be mechanics, videographers, team managers one day, content creators, come and join our program. The proceeds that we raise and charge go right to the privateer teams that you're going to be working with, and you're able to make industry connections that last a lifetime. Over 80% of our interns are now placed in dope roles like working for James Stewart on the JS7 podcast, working for Feld Supercross, working for companies like FXR Moto, and top teams just like the HEP team and so many other ones. We want to hook you guys up and make sure you guys feel like you're right at home with our programs, feel like family. We've got a bunch of people from the Moto Academy flooding in. So welcome to the Moto Academy people. You guys get a discount. Use promo code the Moto Academy at checkout. Save yourself some cash and make sure that you sign up. I'm super stoked to get more Moto Academy people into the program. We've had some so far this year, and it's been absolutely awesome. I want all you guys to join in, whether you're in the Moto Academy or not. Check it out. It's super fun, and I want to hook you guys up. Send me a DM, send me a email, contact at thecollectivexp.com, at thecollectivex on Instagram, and join the program today. James, one thing that I'm always mesmerized by every single weekend is the fact that even if the track looks a bit one line, if the track looks a bit crappy, they're still able to do some cool stuff with line choice and flowing and everything else. Oh, dude, we got some drama between Deegan.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Deegan's walking up to the rig.
Like, that was just the heat race, and he walked over to the rig like.
Deegan's walking over to the rig. Whoa. Oh, dude, shout out to London Mex in the chat. What's going on, Lund? Hope you're doing good, brother. Guys, if you have not checked out London Mex on YouTube, do yourself a favor. London Mex has some of the coolest bike builds. He does some crazy stuff that I don't know why he would think of putting these engines in bikes like that. But London Mex, check him out. He's super dope guy. Wrench for top guys like Seven Deuce himself. So the guy knows his way around a wrench. Inspired me to get into some cool bike builds because he's just such a dope guy. Check it out, Lund. If you ever want to be a guest on one of these things, dude, let me know. I'll throw you the chat in now, dude. So you can hop on. Love to talk to you, man. Hope all is well. Guys, check him out. London Mex doing some cool stuff. But yeah, dude, that entire fight or the little tussle,
Whatever that was.
yeah, that little weird deal was crazy. He's getting a little bit brawlic. I thought Deegan was more of a reserve kind of dude, and now we're seeing a little bit of like some badassery. Is that a little bit of like?
I didn't even pay attention to how they got tangled up that much.
So it was in the start, and I think it was Hammaker just touched his back wheel. Hammaker went down, but it drove Deegan a little bit wide and into the tough block to squeeze the binders extra hard and mess up his start.
Gotcha.
But do you think that's a little bit of entitlement coming from Deegan? Is that like it's a passion? Is it
that's
what do you think? What do you think that is? What is it?
I get that it's passion because like, hey, like I'm doing this for a living, so I gotta throw whatever I need to throw out there. I get it, but for a heat race,
it's a little much, right?
Injured? No, yeah, I'm not injured or anything. So
yeah, I think he's got to go. I didn't see the race results, but I think he's got to go to the LCQ, right?
I'll check Racer X right quick.
And we got Vial in this one. So realistically, James, I mean, like I said, you're more of a fan of the sport than I am at this point now. Vial, what's your take on Vial? Do you think he can win again, or was last weekend just a fluke?
I think so. Here's my thing. I don't think KTM signs anybody that can't win or they don't think can win. So I think he can get another one, maybe two more, maybe three. Will he go on like a streak and just wide open it? Probably not. It's just too much talent to just speak that. But I think being technical and talented and racing where he raced just paid off last weekend just because. But yeah, I don't think it was luck. Like right now, he's you clearly see it just, he's racing against a younger crowd, but still it's just being able to do that out front regardless of the age behind you, I think he does well.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that we will ever see a GP guy come over from Europe and immediately start winning Supercrosses? Because right now, I mean, it takes guys a minute. Like even like Marv, Reed. It took some guys some time to kind of even the Lawrences, right? Do you think we'll ever have a MXGP guy come over and immediately start winning?
I don't mean to bring it up for like a bad experience, but Brian Moreau was really well. He did really, really well when he came over and did that. And I feel like, like Marv had that program where people came over and just kind of got under his wing and did well. So I will say they have advanced, but just coming over and winning is kind of hard because over here in America, you can go crank Supercross out and then do a 30 right after. So it's like, it's kind of hard to say they'll just come over and do it. The technical races, the slow technical races, maybe, but just all out win a season, I doubt it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
I it's going to be tough, but it's super cool to see how fast Vial adapted. That's one thing that kind of like perplexes me is like how used to the pace and like the style of racing is. I don't know if you see this, James, but we got a Triumph in second place.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's pretty damn dope. Jalik Swole, shout out,
man.
Yeah, shout out to your Florida native boy, Jalik.
For sure.
Dudes out there making that bike look sweet. I've been hyped on the Triumph over the past couple of weeks after their debut. And one thing that I said, and if you guys have watched the stream multiple times, I'm going to sound like a broken record. What made it really cool for me to see with the Triumph debut was that they blended in with the rest of the bikes. I didn't go and say like, oh, that's a Triumph. They're blah, blah, blah. To me, that's a successful debut. If you're looking just as fast and just as good and sound just as cool as the Yamis, the Hondas, the KTMs that have been out here winning for years and years and years, that's a win to me. And to see them in second place now, I think that's pretty cool. They're putting a lot of development into their race.
They have like a whistle to them, don't they? Not like that KTM whistle, but they have like their own like noise to them.
I couldn't tell. I was pretty close to ground level too, and I really couldn't tell. They sound just like kind of like a KTM. If I'm going to be honest with you, I know it's completely different development. They're not really sharing.
Similar. Yeah, but I mean, Bobby Hewitt was over there, so
exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, Bobby Hewitt's that dude can make a bike fast, man. He knows how to run a team. Yeah. But I'm stoked to see what happens with this team, man. And they haven't even come out and really showed all their cars on their 450 yet. Like they've got Savacci, who's going to be making the debut on that thing in the summer. But I wonder what that's going to be like. And if they end up making a 350, your boy's going to buy one. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
in the chat,
you. I was like, I know you got the.
I'm a Cowie guy right now. Chat guys, if you're Cowie guys, we're one of the same. But if Triumph makes a 350 and it's cheaper than one of the KTM 350s. Dave Drake's gonna have to hop on one.
Yeah,
because they look really, really cool, man. I'm stoked. And like it's cool to see Jalik out there too, because he's had an up and down last couple of years. Like
For sure.
he had that really bad crash. I can't remember how long ago.
Yeah.
And then he had that really big get off in Iron Man when he tried getting a little cute with the scrub whip. It came off the side. And it's good to see that he's got a good race under his belt right now. And I hope this is like confidence building, because Jalik's a great rider, man. Like amateurs, he was one of the guys. Not only that, but we also have a sneaky Honda by Hymas in third, which is I'm a big amateur guy. So all the guys that were killing in amateurs and stuff like that, you're going to hear me top them as big steppers in here. Cool to see that, because really we didn't hear much about him last however long off season. Really didn't hear a peep out of him. We really heard a lot about Joe Shimoda. We didn't really hear about his teammate Hymas. So kind of cool that he's up there. I hope all of these good positions for the guys that we really haven't seen have good positions and good finishes. Hope it builds a little bit of confidence in them and kind of leads into the main event, because that could be some really good racing for all of us, and really get us to really get us on the edge of our seats with some good racing.
And that's kind of why I like the East Coast rounds. Not to cut you off, that's why I like the East Coast rounds, because you have the guys that are from I forget where Hymas is from, but you just have the guys that are from like where Faulkner's from, or Florida, or Georgia, or Carolinas, and they're like, oh wait, I got like 6 rounds I can actually drive to, and factory, but it's not like I have to go to California, train, then fly back. They can just kind of stay in the East Coast area. So I like that too, because you train all your life on the East Coast, club, GP, wherever else, and then you end up riding those style tracks.
Do you think it makes that big of a difference for guys when they're able to I feel like I'm kind of close to home for these races?
Yeah, even if I drive to the track now for an hour and I'm not even going that fast, I would think it makes a difference. So definitely, I think hey, I'm in Florida, Daytona's an hour away, or I got to go to New Jersey, or I need to go to Atlanta. I think it makes a big difference. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would like to race any place but Jersey, but hey, that's just me. And not my favorite places to race in Jersey, man. They do have Englishtown. That place is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I remember.
Other than that, I'm good. But no, it's super cool, man. We got Anstey in this one too with a sneaky 5th, and you got Pierce Brown. I was talking to a friend of mine this past weekend that we really haven't heard much from the gas guys, like Pierce Brown. We've seen Ryder D a little bit, but even Barsha, we suspected that he'd have a win by now, and he's really been kind of quiet. Do you think that they have a chance to turn around before the end of the season in both the 250 West and 250 East? If so, who's it going to come from? Are we going to see it from Ryder D, or is it going to be Pierce Brown?
Yeah, thinking back, I remember when Pierce Brown was on that, I can't think of the full-blown team name, but that KTM team that kind of was in this place, they still seem to have the characteristics where it's like they have the heavy hitters, but it just seems like whatever notch they need to get to just go out there and grab a start, it's like they can't. I'm seeing good things from, both Ryder D and Pierce Brown, but I think Pierce has that edge of just experience, which might give him a little bit better, position up top. So I'm not counting both out, but I think Pierce Brown is probably going to be the heavy hitter for them while Ryder gets his feet wet. Because as you can see, like everybody that was banging bars on Deegan's level as they came up through their cohort, everybody doesn't just come out in Tomac stuff or just come out in Jet stuff. So I think Ryder's going to have to get a little bit more feet wet, which that's expected. Staying safe mostly.
I almost feel like it's so difficult to when you are a fast amateur and you make the transition over to pro to all of the hype, all of the nerves, all of the you're racing like fast dudes. You're not racing like little kids anymore. You're racing grown men with beards and babies. So it's a different ball game. These are grown men I'm racing, and I can't just do a quick little move on the inside and push them around like this. These guys are serious. So I definitely think it takes at least 2 to 3 years for the mere mortals, if you're not like a Jet or a Stu or like a Tomac or something, to actually come out swinging. It does take a few seasons to really get someone underneath you. Shout out to Jeremy Martin. I am so shocked that dude is back on the bike after that crash he had.
That crash.
That was gnarly. So shout out. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude. The Cooper crash, I forgot what the really, really bad crash outdoor with him and Cooper. I thought he was done after that years ago. I thought that was just I was like, well, I guess the Martin brothers might be, when he just keeps lining up. I'm like, man,
he's tough.
Tough
dude. Really, really tough dude. So stoked to see him out there. Shout out to my boy Luca Marsalisi. on the Ty Lube team. I think he's running just too shy of a transfer spot. So shout out to him and a bunch of other privateers out here that we're supporting. So make sure you show those guys some love. You'll see us tagging a lot of the privateers that we work with week in and week out on our Instagram. Follow those guys, show them some love, and hit them up. I'm sure Lund knows all about the privateer scene. This guy's been supporting those guys for years, French and Forum, and doing some cool stuff. So shout out to all the people that make the privateers able to chase their dreams. So love those guys. Lund saying the track is getting ready already. Yeah, it was crazy to watch those guys kind of pick their way through the rhythms. And Lund, I don't know if you noticed, but it's almost like they're jumping and in the transition, they're picking their rut and then jumping and then kind of like picking their, you know what I mean? It's
They got
almost
to
like they're just
reposition.
going. Yeah, instead of like really having good flow and pushing through the sections, they're almost having to like look and like pick and choose, and it kind of slows them down a little bit. So I guarantee that's going to play a little bit of a mind game when it comes to the main, because you're clicking off lap after lap after lap, and you don't want to be mistake.
And if that rut changes the way you went through last time, and you thought you were going to jump through it,
yep,
like that's
it's going to be a problem. Speaking of that, we all saw what happened to Faulkner not too long ago in Arlington. That was one of the worst crashes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm gutted for the dude, because this is like 3-4 years in a row where he's kind of crashed out of the season.
I think I might have lost you, Dave.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, guys. We're getting like freezing up and stuff. But Faulkner, dude, like three or 4 years in a row where he's crashed. Really bad crash in Arlington. What do you think is gonna be like his saving grace when it comes to coming back? Like, what's gonna be the thing that brings him back to the Faulkner that he used to be?
Yeah, I remember Faulkner on like mini bikes. Like it was just insane. So he always had the grit to just haul, right? But I feel like maybe some type of refinery. I don't know where, because I'm not that fast, right? But just it seems like he's good, and then it's just flat out just not good. It's never like, oops, I can recover. Oops, I can catch it. So some type of refinery around when he's on that edge, like I don't know if it's dialing it back once or twice, but something has to change, because he's always just fast, and then it's like boom, I hit rock bottom. So maybe it's just something he's got to dial it back, or it's just something up top that just wants him to keep going, because he's crashed so much and he's like, man, maybe I got to push a little harder or do something,
I wonder if it's technique for him, something around like I don't know. This is like the way he's riding. I don't know. Maybe guys in the chat, let me know what you think it is for Faulkner, like why he's continuously having these years where he's crashing out. And we're all fans of these guys, over on this side. So I love seeing Faulkner rip. The dude's world-class speed, but hope he comes back and he can kick some butt. James, looking at 450s. So we got Vial doing his podium speech. So shout out to Vial. Dude's looking like a beast right now. Making those KTMs look good. Still can't afford one, but maybe one day. Who are you liking for the 450s, man? Like who stands out for you for this weekend? I mean, obviously Jet's probably everyone loves a kid, but who do you think can have like a sneaky win or maybe reassert themselves to the top step of the podium?
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Tomac, man. Like to be that level of an athlete, and then to get hurt the way he did, and then to show up and basically pretty much win Daytona, except for like literally I was paying attention to 450s last weekend, and had he had that insight before Jet got him, I don't think Jet would have been able to pass him anywhere else at Daytona. That's just my opinion. So I think had Jet not like weaseled in right there the way he did, like it'd have been a different outcome. But I like the way Tomac is looking, considering a bounce back, man. Like they're like, oh, he's not winning. It's like that. Did you not see Dungey his whole career? Like you can be consistent and still, and still be the rider that you were before. So I like the way Tomac is riding, honestly. But I mean, everybody at points right now is just, it's kind of like the 250 class where it can be anybody's race. It's just like, you never know who's just going to show up. This track might hook up a little bit better or something for somebody, but I like the way Tomac is looking.
I do too. I've been secretly like wishing that we have a lot of flat corners because there's something about the way
Yeah,
that
that rear end.
Jason Anderson can throw that bike around and power slide. The way he almost rides a little bit like Villapoto-esque with the rear end a little bit.
Yeah,
The dude looks absolutely phenomenal, man. Like he's always been fast, right? Jason Anderson's
right.
past Supercross title winner. Dude's a beast. But yeah, like I don't know what it is, man, but like the way he's been riding this past couple of years, like it's been awesome. And really, I don't think his results show just how good he's been riding. I don't think it shows
Yeah.
his full skill because the dude's just been like, if you're watching practice, this guy will go off, man.
Well, he kept playing battle royale with Jet every other round starting out,
Yeah,
so that cost him a lot of mental space and just
yeah.
taking focus off of what the purpose of being there was for, I think, as well. But clearly, he's doing
Mm.
well now.
Oh, for sure.
And then Master Pool just steps it up every time I see him
He
ride. It's
does.
crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. Master Pool's been like crushing it. Yeah, Steve, I love the fact that you're wanting to take the passion for photography to the next level, dude. Good luck in buds. Definitely during the program, dude. We've had so many people in videography go on and do some incredible things. Let us help you get there, dude. Send me a DM. Let's talk. I want to get you into the program and do some cool stuff. Yeah,
Hey,
let's
Dave,
see.
I got a
Once,
question
what's up?
about the program.
Yes,
So,
sir.
like, how this is just off topic, but I just thought about it. So,
Mhm.
how, like, you talked about me, like, trying to go to Loretta's, right? Like,
Yeah.
would you ever do a tent for, like, people or people that try to get to Loretta's through TCE to kind of push it out that way eventually? Like, have you ever thought about that?
I have like trying to do like some amateur stuff. Like there's so much I want to do with the program, and we've been building
Yeah.
steadily every year. We've been having some great successes and lots of great industry partners. I think we could. I think there's going to come a time when like I want to field like some am kids, for
Yeah.
some pro ams, maybe like Loretta's, and then I'd love to have a few pros under a tent and really do like show those big teams what a real VIP experience looks like. I think
Right.
a lot of them are trying to be imitators of the program. We're kind of like the
Right.
originators for this level. Yeah, no, I would love to. I would love to. I know everyone's trying to do their own fan experience program, but they'll never be as good as the collective because, man, we really like it's not even like a dicky thing. Like we personally care about every intern, every fan, like their family,
Yeah.
man. Like, and it's not just the day of the race. It's like you're meeting the teams, like you're going out to dinner with everybody, you're meeting them a day early. You've got all these different contact numbers for the riders, the teams, you're making contacts. Like half of the interns and fans that come through end up getting some cool stuff that even I can't get. Like one of our fan experience goers came through and like left with like brand new Alpine Star boots. I'm like, how the heck did you get that?
Get that,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I was talking to this guy, and this guy introduced me to this guy, and like now like he hooked me up. I'm like, holy dude, AJ couldn't even get him at some point, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's cool, man. Like we really took it the extra mile and like, dude, with the rig tours, the meals, like
Yeah.
listening on the radios, like you're actually part of the riders' winning day. You're not just doing like a meet and greet. So yeah, I definitely want to do it big, dude, eventually. Like really
Yeah.
take it to the next level and do some cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I always thought about that. That made me
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
put two
if
and
you
two
go,
together.
if you go to Loretta's, we'll hook something up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll make something happen for sure. And yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it going. But let's see. It
Sexton
looks
out
like
front right now.
Braxton out front, looking steezy, looking fast. I like that.
I have another question with him though. Do you think
Mhm.
he really didn't like the bike? Like, do you think that really what it
Over
was?
over at
Over,
Honda.
yeah.
I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, some teams they're not as open to like do like different changes. You know what I mean?
Because there
So
wasn't
like
much HRC 450 stuff, but yeah, true. I see.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't think they have like the freedom to really change stuff out the way that they want to. And maybe Lund would know this better than I do, but I think sometimes it's team personnel changes that could really affect it. I think if they have a new bike design that they don't really jive with, that could do it, or
yeah.
just like lack of freedom to be able to change the bike in ways you want to. That could be it as well. So
Gotcha.
it could be a plethora of things. But if that was me, I would be going for the bag. So whoever had the most cash, I'll figure it out, bro.
No
I'll call
doubt.
up. I'll call up London and be like, "Hey, man, we need to get this bike dialed,"
Like,
and then I'll have the Moto Master himself hook it up for me, man.
try to win. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. If they're like, "Hey, you want to offer you $1 million to ride," freaking Fisher Price bikes. I'm
32
riding the Fisher
rounds.
Price
Yep.
bike.
Gotta
Oh
check the
man,
tires every turn. Let's do it.
exactly. Hey, look at that. We talked about Barsha kind of being like, under the radar a little bit. Look at how this guy comes out, like looking.
Yep.
Oh, dude, putting Ferrandis up a little high in the third with Anderson in second. Look at Malcolm on the inside of Ferrandis
Yeah.
trying
Malcolm
to be
he's been
sneaky.
looking pretty good this year. He has some mishaps, but that's a part of racing. You can't count for those. But he's been looking pretty good this year as well.
No, he really has. But dude, I'm gutted for Masterpool, man. I want to see him like start chasing these guys down
Yeah, I
and like,
saw
you
that.
know what I mean?
Yeah. But like I said, he elevated pretty well. Like to just step up like that 450 and just go. I mean, but from his with the small sprint when he was on Star and got the whole shot, holding the finger up, like we knew he was capable of doing
Oh,
something good. Like
there's some videos of Masterpool riding that like blow my mind.
yeah,
Like absolutely blow, like the things that he does on a motorcycle. I'm like, how are you doing this right now? It's
yeah.
absolutely insane. So yeah, he's
But that
got the
might be going
talent.
back to technique and whatever they do back home at the compound. Like it's not
Yeah,
like they go to public places and ride.
I heard his place is fire to ride.
It looks like it,
It
man. I
looks
remember like
awesome.
just growing up, just hearing the name Masterpool when the accident happened, and then seeing the
Yeah,
land just develop and change. I'm just like, man, I'm glad they stayed
yeah.
in it.
Same. Yeah. Shout out to their whole family. I'll post a question for the chat. Let's see, get you guys more involved. If there was one training facility, one rider's compound, or something, some place that you wanted to ride, some track, you had your pick of the litter, free access to any track in the world to ride at. What would be your track or facility or private compound of choice to ride at? James, I'll start with you, man. Before we start going to the chat answers, what would be
Yeah.
your track of choice?
Even though it has the booters that I probably have never been over the Stewart compound, I have to say that because
Ah.
like I'm a Florida kid at heart, so like yeah, even though I'm in Illinois now, the Stewart compound all day. I know those booters are insane, but yeah, I'd have to pick that all day.
Gotcha. Let's see. If I had to pick a compound, I don't know who has it now, but I saw a video. So mine would probably be a tie. So I have to preface it there. Three-way tie. So Stu's for sure. We've all put the video games. We know how dope the place looks. It's got massive booters that I probably would never touch, but it looks dope. Dreamland.
Yeah.
Who owns it?
Luke
Was it
Renslin?
Renslin? Luke Renslin.
Yeah.
Dreamland looks awesome. I used to race that guy, and he used to give me a nightmares, dude. He was so fast. Such a fast dude to race with. And then it also be, I don't know, maybe you guys in the chat know, but it was Grant Langston's track at one point. Josh Grant rode there when he was on a Honda, and they had this like massive 5-pack. It was like 5 singles. I think they were going double, triple, or triple double through.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
I think Grant went 4 and singled out, like wide open, fifth gear up, stretched it, and like 4-1. That track always looked super cool to me. I'd love to ride that track. So three-way tie for me for those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Benny is saying JS7's track. I love that. Let's see. Bunny Man saying I was hanging with Masterpool's father at Bud's. Cool dude. That's super sick. Sketchy XC, what's up? He's saying Stewart's place. Let's see. Bunny saying he's doing Stewart Compound or Bamland. Mike McSwain saying Pastrana Land. Pastrana Land is awesome. I rode that place. It was phenomenal.
You've been there,
yeah, but Pastrana will have you doing stupid stuff before you know it. So just as a preface, you will be doing stupid stuff. Let's see. I think Lund said MTF. That place always looked banger. I'd love to check that place out too. That'd be super sick. Yeah, I'd love to check that place out.
I'd like to make the haul, but when I'm a lot better, like faster and just more confident around the tracks. The Club MX open ride days, I'd love to go do one of those. I know they're hectic. But man, I'd probably love to try one of those.
I hear what you're saying, right? That track does look dope. I will say that the track looks phenomenal. But what kills me is that it's so soft and so rough and so peaky that like it tires me out just watching people ride. Like literally like watching
from pits. You come in pits and then it's just a big uphill double out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yep. Watching Pike ride back there in the day, I'm like, that place is giving me arm pump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would
like
So like, I don't know. MTF would be that place is always
somewhere.
Yeah,
MTM.
they're gonna
Yeah.
get you
Okay.
fast, most definitely. But yeah, those would be mine. Dope to see Sexton up front again. That's cool. We haven't seen him really,
Yeah.
get
Is he doing his
any
own
bit of
program? Like, I
confidence.
can't. Is he really at like Alden? Like, what's the? I didn't pay attention to the deal with like how he's training.
Sexton,
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you, James. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That's
don't know if
something
he's
I don't
with
know about.
Alden or not. Like, that's the thing too. It's like it's kind of cool to me that like KTM, like the whole KTM family, Gas, and Husky,
Husky.
kind of
Yeah.
like made him exclusive to their teams. I think that's really cool. I do know he's pricey though for the guys.
I bet. I mean, yeah. Considering the championships he's brought people to, yeah,
Yeah.
I
He
bet.
he's yeah, he's pricey. But yeah, honestly, if I had the chance to train with Alden Baker, and I think he's also I don't know if Tyler Rattray is part of that or if I think it's Tyler Rattray that was training with him as like I don't want to say like an understudy, but like almost like a co-trainer.
Yeah.
That would be cool, man. I'd love to train with him. Gareth Swanepoel would be somebody I'd love to train
I was
with.
gonna say Gareth. I remember when he was when Malcolm was there and he was training him right after the injury. It was like Malcolm lost so much weight and just got super fit. So anybody that Gareth touches, it just seems
Yeah.
like just you probably need to like not look at a burger for like 3 months before you think about going. But like,
If you can help me get into like the beach body that I need and I can start winning some races, I'll screw
yeah,
burgers.
suit up, yeah,
You know I love food, dude. So I don't.
yeah,
I'll give up some. If I can win a race, I'll give up some burgers. Trust me. We'll
yeah,
be eating kale nonstop, dude. If
yeah.
it means winning a
I
race,
wonder
I'll
like
be all for it, man.
I wonder, like, since Loretta's has always been a thing for me, and I did
Yeah.
start late, like chasing that, like, all right, I am a normal guy. I'm not doing this for a living. Like,
Mhm.
where's the bar where you just set yourself and you're like, all right, I got top 10 at Loretta's, but I'm in the middle, I think we're having more.
We got you. There we go. We got you. There we go. Yep. Can you hear me? I can't hear you,
Oh,
James.
there we
Sorry.
go. Yep,
Sorry.
yep.
Sorry. What were you
Sorry.
saying about Reddit?
Oh,
Sorry.
I was saying, like you think
Apologies again,
about.
guys. We're getting sketchy with the streaming. Apologies. We're gonna get it. Sorry.
I
Go ahead,
was
James.
saying, you know how like people, like I would love to race Loretta's one day, right? Like, what bar are you putting when you're a normal guy just wanting to train, but then you're like, I'm not training for a triathlon, I'm training for Loretta's for this one moment, but I'm a normal guy. Like, how do you gauge that compared to like people that do this year round?
I don't know. I think it just depends on your level of dedication, man. Because even like racing like
Yeah,
AMs and stuff, like, dude, my dad had me on a program where like we were cycling, we were eating something proper, off the bike.
yeah,
I had a trainer for off the bike, and that wasn't even like AM stuff. That was like local, maybe De Loretta's
yeah,
qualifier here and there, maybe a pro am here or there, but that wasn't anything like super crazy. So I just think it's your level of dedication and where you want to get to. But if
gotcha.
I think having number one is a big thing is seat time, and like if one's still in the chat, he can tell you with his guys, like whatever he does with his boys, they're always cranking out some good results. But seat
Okay,
time is
yeah,
so crucial. Consistent training off the bike too, with like strength training, I think matters. Good cardio matters. But dude, it's seat time and like proper eating to keep your weight in check. I know for me that's a big one. You should be good, dude. So basically, riding a bunch, getting in the gym, eating
yeah,
right, you should be solid. That should be like a really good starting point, good baseline for you.
yeah, for sure. Okay, we
For
got
me, I mean,
450
that's
Heat 2 coming up.
yeah. Shout out to Lane Shaw, Texas dude in there. Love seeing that. And we got Jet in this one as well.
Tomac Webb, Roxon
Yeah, and
Plessinger.
he's got Plessinger behind right next to him, dude. I'm really shocked at Plessinger. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan. Hung out with the dude a couple years ago. Super cool in the rig, really cool to hang out with, really down to earth.
AC.
And it's awesome to see him. Like, dude was a red plate holder for a minute. Like
Yeah, for a while.
A
Yeah,
lot of people wrote this guy off, I think, and it's so cool to see him back, and he's doing it with like no pressure. It seems like, you know, he's just having fun. So that's super cool.
I
Now
mean,
we've got
you think about it when he got on 250s, he had the heart of a champion back then. I think it just kind of got shadowed because so many people moved up to 450s that was fast. So it kind of like,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I hear you, no, for sure. But oh, look at that. Is that AC with a decent
yeah.
start, dude?
AC got a decent start.
Yeah, let's go. If he can do that in the main event, dude, he'll be stoked. He's been really positive about like even some bad races where he's not really killing it, maybe top 10, top 7, something like that. So like
Yeah,
that's been cool, man. I like the positivity, you know what I mean? Not many guys have that.
he's just a
And
true racer. Yeah, he's gonna show up. Yeah.
for sure. And shout out to Grandpa Tomac out there out front, which is it's crazy. I mean, everyone's calling him old, dude. Like,
But he's not. Yeah,
and he's
he's
not.
not
He's
at
like our
all.
age, man. He's like, you know, he's like he's
Yeah,
not really that old, man. And he's still a badass on a motorcycle, still one of the toughest
right.
dudes out there. Like, he's not. I don't
He's
consider
holding on
him
to a
old at
star
all.
Yamaha. Like that's a different animal. That's a different machine.
Yeah, right. I mean, and like, dude, Roxon has been really impressive,
Yeah, no doubt.
really
He's
impressive,
putting that
and
Suzuki up there.
off. And everyone keeps talking about the Suzuki's or like, blah blah blah. Dude, I'm stoked, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm
I mean,
stoked.
like people complain because they don't have e-start, but at the end of the day, you just need tires, an engine, and suspension to go around a track. Like you can't really tell if it, until you tip it over, you can't tell you're on it.
No, I hear you. Bunny's asking where the hot moto chicks at. Man, they all said no tonight. I don't know. They all said no. We'll we'll get it going.
Bring them
Tomac
back
is the
next week.
coolest grandpa. Oh man, that's funny. Mike's saying the Baylor boys do pretty well in GNCC and enduro without the beach bodies. Yeah, you're right. I did notice that. Maybe he gives
Those
us
races
OE
are
guys
intense.
some like, you know, some hope. Lund's asking who's Freezy gonna mess with in this race, and which is great,
He's
dude.
been kind of quiet.
I kind of dig Freezy, man. Like
I feel
I
like
don't
the
know what
way
it
he
is.
goes
Like
about it, you got to be
I
up in points to ride like that, though. Not,
yeah,
you know.
like I like him like I think he's a fast rider, good starter, all that stuff. But yeah, the drama behind like him racing and hitting people, that's a little wild. But
Yeah,
yeah, as is, man, I think he's pretty solid. Minus all the I mean, granted, I don't have to race with him. I don't know, like if he's taken out, you know, some of Lund's guys in the past, maybe I'd feel differently. But yeah, I don't have to race a guy, so maybe my feeling is kind of moot at this point, you know.
right.
But let's see. We got Tomac out front, Webb in second. Tomac looks like he's stretching out a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
it's
he's
like
not
I'm pretty sure we had a 1 second lead not too long ago. It
feet
went to
on
two.
the peg through that corner. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was
Both feet in the corner on the outside. This guy is flying, and Roxon's right behind Jet, and they're really not pulling him. The only person that seems like they have a pretty decent gap is let's see, Webb to Lawrence, and then maybe it looks
yeah.
like it's bigger than what it's saying right there. But yeah, okay, there we go. 2.5 seconds between Tomac and Webb. Like
Webb, yeah.
I think there's always been a time when like Webb was known for that guy is like, oh, the last 2 minutes, the last couple of laps, like he'll be the guy that like, you know,
Turn
really
it
throws
on.
down, turn it on.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be able to do that with somebody like Tomac, man. I've never seen
Nah.
it. I've never seen him
You
reel him
got the
in. They're on the
latch
same
on, or
bike.
he's just gonna keep pulling, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to do that, you know.
AP's
So,
actually looking a lot faster than Roxon right now.
yeah, I know. Which is crazy to me, man. It's
Yeah.
so cool to see them getting
He's
better
a
on
he's
that
a little bit taller guy,
every
so when he
weekend
goes through
too.
sections, he can just kind of soak up a lot more.
Oh, for
Seems like
sure.
on AP, yeah, AP side.
Yeah. Shout out to our boys, Justin Rodbell, dudes in 17th, and our boy Jerry Robin in 16th and number 70. Jerry always has some dope style going, and he looks good on that bike, man. So I'm stoked
Yeah,
to see him out
I
there.
have a privateer perspective question for you. So like,
Yeah.
maybe not from cost, but like, do you think that a lot more privateers choose the Yamaha now because of, just the power and stuff that you get out of the box and not having a Moto 450, or like, What do you think is the 450 privateer bike that most people use now?
I'd say it's a toss between two. I'd say it's the Cowies you'll see, and you'll see Yamis. I think the Yamahas are just it's a really good platform.
Okay.
They're super fast bikes, especially when you're looking at 250s. It's a good bike out of the box. Every 250 is going to need some mod work and suspension work, stuff like that. But I think it's a really good platform for a lot of riders.
Yeah,
The Cowies, they just pay good contingency. Like they're
I've
may
heard
not be
that.
the best
Yeah.
bike. They're easy to make good. I mean, I wouldn't say I've heard anyone say, "Wow, my Cowie is absolutely the best bike I've ever ridden." They've been like, "Wow, the bike's comfortable. I enjoy it. I like it. You know, it's pretty good."
Right.
Could it be better? Yeah. Could I be better on a KTM or whatever if I got a deal? Probably. But the contingency right now is good. Getting some money. But really, it just comes down to where they can get the best deals from. If someone's offering them free Hyosung bikes and it's legal to
Like,
race
yeah.
and they're getting the bikes for free and they're pretty good on part, like I'm sure they'd race those, but really this comes down to,
Oh,
you know,
sorry. Yeah.
you probably saw something
That
I
was
didn't see yet.
insane. Yeah.
Let me see, because I'm seeing the battle between Webb and Hunter is right on him. And there's Hunter up the inside.
You mean Jet?
Oh, sorry, Jet. Sorry, yep, my bad.
I was like, wait,
Got
somebody got
him.
hurt. Yeah, Jet. I mean, Webb
Yeah.
made a little too early of a move, but
Oh,
Jet closed. Yeah, he
got it.
closed the
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This is why, we.
yeah, he closed the door hard on him. I didn't think he was going to crank down that. There's so many lines he could have
Ooh,
gone to.
I know. Holy crap. That's
Track is
wild.
now we have a Supercross track now. Now, if they water it between, yeah, they might put water on it. We'll see. I don't know because it's just straight up. Yeah, it's straight up groove now.
Mm. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. That's uncharacteristic too.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to just not in a heat race.
Mm.
Tomac is just
Sheesh.
Jet is gaining on him though, but it's the
Yeah,
last
he
lap,
is.
so
So Bunny Man's asking a pretty good question. Will Bennick challenge Deegan this year? I know they used to train together. In my opinion, I think Bennick is good. I think he's really fast and has a lot of potential. I think he needs another like half a season or a season to like build that confidence, kind of like what James was saying earlier. I think he needs another like just another slew of races to get the confidence back and to really hone in his
You
racecraft. I
know
think
the crazy part that I found with like being able to develop is like Bennett got on a 250 pretty much a year and a half before Deegan, if you think about it. So it's like
yeah,
I'm not riding a bandwagon, but I pay attention to that. So I'm just like,
yeah,
man, like everybody is fast, but in the way that you're fast, whenever that season comes and the gate drops, like it matters because
yeah,
Deegan was definitely touching. I'm not Deegan. Bennett was definitely touching the 250 way before Deegan was, and like now
yeah,
look, it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, what? Not to compare them as same riders, but what is
yeah.
the difference? You know, like how do you gauge that? How do you even pull that out of yourself when you're like, man,
Mm,
I ride for Star now, and so does everybody else, but like when we line up, it's totally different. You know.
yeah. No, dude, I agree. Shout out to the CEO. I can't believe can't believe Deegan gave Hammaker ish. He's the one that cut off the whole pack. Dude, we were talking about that a little earlier, and
Yeah,
yeah, we're all in agreement. It's a little bit
it was
of
uncalled for.
entitlement, maybe some a little bit of
Yeah,
overzealousness in that one. So a little crazy. I'm starting to see a lot of people like I don't know what it was, but after the podium speech, which I still haven't seen it in Detroit, where Faulkner got not Detroit, was it Arlington?
yeah, I think
Where
Arlington.
yeah, where Faulkner got hurt and he made the podium speech about like it didn't fall under the pressure. I was like, oh, I heard that's a little. I only heard of it, but I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a little distasteful, Dude just got hurt. But I'm starting to see more people kind of hopping off the Deegan bandwagon, or maybe not hopping off, but I'm just seeing a lot more opposition to just like the dude walks on water lately. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, back to when
Attitude
outdoors, he
coming
kicked his
through.
bike over one point. I forgot what race
Mm,
it was. He kicked his bike over, and they were like, "Oh, the greats will never kick their bike over." And then I think it kind of started
mm,
from there, and then these
yeah,
incidents here and there just kind of like pile up. Like, man, like if you're Star's top pick. Why are you acting like this? And I think that's kind of what people are like. Wait a minute, we don't
Mm.
want that. We
No,
don't want to support it at least.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, you want to respect the dudes that are building the bikes. So yeah, and they're usually a lot bigger than the riders too, the guys that are wrenching. So you got to show them some
Right.
respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. He's saying super entitlement. I like how dare you not make way for me? Don't you know who my father is? Oh, I love that.
Literally.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird deal. Like I heard everyone saying, like I heard both sides. Are they super humble, super nice, great person? The flip side is I hear that he's like always like on the entitlement route, blah blah blah, this
Yeah.
and that. But I mean, I don't know. It's just whoever you want to believe at the moment, right?
Right. Right.
But yeah,
Or what you
maybe
see for yourself.
yeah, make the judgment call yourself, and you know, see what you see. But yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of entitlement there. But I'm
Yeah.
still a big ass fan of this dude.
Absolutely.
still think
100%.
he's dope.
Yeah.
You know,
Spade to
so yeah.
spade.
For sure, for sure. We got to kick off the swag bag giveaway. So this weekend, since we're looking at Tomac, I was gonna do a Tomac one last weekend, but we changed it up because we had Moto Babe on. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that content, but I got a cool vlog coming out with Moto Babe and some more cool content with Hunter Garcia. So, buddy, man, you'll be happy to know there'll be more Moto chicks on. We'll have some more on in a couple weeks. But yeah, so this weekend's first person to give me the right answer is tell me the first race that Tomac went pro at and what he got in that very first pro moto that he did. So year and what he got in that first pro moto, and you guys can win a swag bag. James, you're not qualified. You're disqualified for this one. So you'll get a swag bag when you come to the house and check it out.
Yeah, I got to make it down, man.
Yeah, definitely do. Definitely do. The tracks down here are freaking awesome, man. We've got such good
Yeah,
tracks
I
in
bet.
Texas.
All the land. Yeah.
The
I
heat's
bet.
crazy, but yeah. Hmm. Let's see. Sketchy XC saying, I don't like anyone with that mentality. Didn't like when Jet did it either.
There you go.
But yeah, bouncing us out. My bad. But yeah, getting more moto moms in here. What are you thinking, James?
I mean, hey, the more the merrier, right? Like, you
The
might
more
as
moto
well.
moms, the merrier.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, we got to get some more people in here. So we had Moto Babe in here. We had buddy of mine, Katie Peril, motorcycle engineer extraordinaire and rocket scientist. We had Jordan Jarvis, Marissa Vaughn. We've had Kylie Culpa on here. Taylor Kaplan, Brittany Piota, Morgan Pasternak. Oh man, we've had quite a few Zoe Brown, a bunch of badass chicks and some bikes. Man, we're gonna get a lot more in. We gotta find some motor moms. We'll make a petition and see who wants to come
We'll
on.
be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's anyone you guys want to have on, let me know in the chat. Like, who do you want to see hop on as a guest? Who do you guys want to have the chat with and question back and forth? Let me know. Like, we'll try to make it happen. Obviously, factory guys, we'll try, but no, I don't know. But we've been able to have like Gypsy Tales hop on. We've had quite a few pros hop on, in the day. So Deuce, we're looking to get Pike on soon. We had Tyler Bowers, AJ Cat, Henry Miller, Luca Marcellisi. We had all of our TCE boys on. So if there's somebody that you guys want to check out or have on here, let me know. That'd be super dope. Bunny saying Moto MILFs for sure. Yeah, we'll try. We'll try. We gotta get that. We gotta get the numbers juiced up. So it's the only way to do it. But guys, yeah, thank you again for tuning in to the TCE Live SX Watch Party. Don't forget, check out some of our amazing sponsors down below. FXR Moto, those guys are always keeping us looking crispy out on the track and hooking our fans and interns up with amazing swag bags. Flow Vision goggles, same deal. Those guys are so good to us. Speed and Sport Adventure Tours, check those guys out. They're doing amazing things in the sport, and your boy's an investor in it. So, help the boy make some money. EVS, we also have Evans Power Coolant, Overshare Advice and Planning, the guys over at Moto Tape, and the Moto Academy, of course. Shout out to AJ and the crew. Those guys are like family. We appreciate all they're doing for the sport. Definitely. And guys, if you want to go behind the scenes and take your passion for motorcycle racing, for motocross and supercross, turn your passion into a gig, whether it's mechanic support, social media, content creation, team management, and so much more, videography, photography, hit that link below for the collective experience. Our fan experience and our internship programs go hard for this year. Over 80% of our interns have gone on to do amazing things in the industry with such gigs as like working for Supercross. I mean, that's pretty dope. Working for James Stewart, I think it's pretty dope. Working for a number of professional race teams. So many teams under the pits. You will see a bunch of TCE guys that used to come through. Look at the PRMX Partzilla team. Look at AJ's crew. I mean, the list goes on and on. A lot of people came through as alumni, and we want to hook you guys up as well. Use the promo code Moto Academy to save and attend the races like a G, dude. There's no point. Why would you attend the race with a regular ass pass? If you're not a regular fan, get the behind the scenes experience, dude. It's way cheaper than the other imitators, and the money that we charge goes right back to the privateer guys. And we're keeping them racing every weekend. So make sure you guys support the guys that support the guys. Come on, you know you want to.
Definitely.
Let's see. Lund is saying Eli Tomac debuted Glenn Helen on a Geico bike. He won in 2010. I think that's the right answer. I don't know why I'm thinking it's Freestone for some reason.
Yeah, I don't remember if Freestone was. Yeah, I don't think it was Freestone.
I think it was. I think it was Glenn.
The only thing I remember from Freestone was Blake Baggett jumping that pit.
Oh yes. I'm pretty sure Len's right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it wasn't Glenn Helen. Wasn't Glenn Helen. Oof. Come on, Lunge. Let's see. Ben saying, well, if you watch the interview with Deegans on Gypsy, they want real emotion to be a bigger part of the sport. Controversy, rivalry, whatever it takes to get more eyes in the sport. It's actually a pretty good point because that's kind of like what Deegan did with Pastrana when they were doing the FMX stuff. Like, Pastrana was more like the clean cut kid. The Metal Militia dudes were more of like the outliers, like they almost had like this like Hell's Angel kind of mystique. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that's an interesting take on the whole deal. In my opinion, I think having the raw emotion is cool, but only if it's like not like super gnarly and like super sketchy, and you're kicking bikes over and you're trying to fight in the pits. That stuff I don't know about, but like the positive raw emotions, I think it puts a good spin on the sport, So
yeah,
let me know what you guys think in the chat. If you guys think it's better, then like let me know. Shout out to the lovely Miss Eckhart herself, Miss Jess. What's going on? Speaking of Moto moms, shout out to her. Grant's mom. I'm sure you guys have seen Grant on here a ton. I'm constantly blowing up Grant's phone because he loves me so much. But shout out to her. Let's see. Mike McSwain said Hangtown. I had to look it up. It's Hangtown. So technically, I think London wins with the because he had the year in the race semi right. Then he corrected himself. So yeah, win goes to Lund. Not playing favorites, but I love me some London Max. Come on. But you see the guys in the background trying to like show off for the camera as Haymaker was getting the interview going.
Right.
That was pretty funny. I like that stuff, man. They're like, well, if the camera's going to be here, might as well get some
Might as
TV
well
time,
just,
right?
yeah.
I love that. Oh my
Might
gosh,
as well
that's
get my 5
hilarious.
minutes of fame, 5 seconds of fame, whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
right. Exactly. So James, what part of the track do you think is going to give these guys the biggest headache for the main
Yeah.
events?
To
Because
be honest with you, that
we're
that
gonna
little
have two LCQs turn it up too.
yeah. I think that little whatever it is after the straightaway, it's like this little offset triple into the right hander. I
Yep.
think that just diving in for trying to cut people off, that's going to be a big big point of contention. Like I haven't seen too many places where people can pass because a lot of the flat
Mm.
corners is just one line. But I think that little triple into the right hander wherever it's at on the track, I keep seeing it. I'm like, yeah, there's going to be some bar banging right there because
Yeah.
you got to slow down, but you also got to case that third on the triple. So it's like there's going to be a lot of contention right there, I think.
Do you think we'll see anybody like wash the front end out? And if you do, who do you think it'll be?
Front ends, I got to say, ooh, I don't want to put this on Roxon for 450. I just feel like the Suzuki might hook up a little too much and it just, you
Mm.
know, um, I don't know if Anderson, he does pretty well on, like you said, he does pretty well where rear-ended. So,
Yeah.
but 250s, they're just going to be flat out. Just they're really going to be slowing down the turns more so than accelerating compared to 450s, I think.
Mm.
So yeah, I think 250s is going to be hard, but 450s, I think that Suzuki might hook up a little too much.
I hear you. Well, James, so this year, I think you and I talked a little bit about it, but you're looking to get in the bike more, right? More
Yep,
bike
absolutely.
time, more training sessions.
Yeah,
Wow, what are some of your goals for this season, man? Because like you've been making some
yeah,
strides in the last couple of years, and like I mean, when we hop off, we'll have people like I'll leave a link to your Instagram and stuff so that people can kind of
sure.
follow along and check out all your stuff. Like, what are some of your goals for racing for this
Yeah,
year?
I need to get a gate drop this year or two, like a
Hmm.
just straight up because I've always, I started like what 3, 4 years ago, however long.
Yeah.
So I just I didn't want to jump into that whole C class thing and not being funny. Like I'm on my own health insurance. I just did not want to just go against a 14-year-old on a 250 for the hell of it. So I did the euphoria classes and
Yeah.
push myself to limits that I still need to go past further. But really just getting a gate drop or two this year.
Mm.
Not worried about results, but just getting it out there and then being able to just say, well, hey, I can go do like two more this year. So if I can get a gate drop this year, I think that'll be definitely the biggest like milestone for me this year for sure. Because I'm
Got
going
you.
to hit euphoria like crazy.
Yeah, definitely classes make a difference. Guys, if you have any advice for James when it comes to that next part of racing, getting the gate drops in, let him know. Let him
Yeah,
know. I think it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited. I think I should do the same thing. I didn't have many gate drops last year. I really need to. I had a couple really good really good rides when a handful of months ago whenever I rode with my buddies last, but I got to get some more gate drops. I really need new tires. And I gotta get myself back in the gym and get back to it, man, because I was making some really good strides for a minute back to old David of 2000 early. And I want to get back to it. I need to
yeah,
yeah, I need to do a little bit better, but
yeah. Definitely getting a gate drop. I mean, I have so much time now. I mean, I thought I'd be able to ride, but gotta hold off a little bit longer with this weather and some other things. So
yeah,
yeah.
or you could just move to Texas.
People ask me like, "Oh, Texas, Florida, like where would you go? You could ride year round if you move somewhere warmer." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Mm. Florida has some awesome tracks too.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
what was
I
your
mean,
local
like,
track in Florida?
so like local. I mean, you had not Boswick. It's a track called Boswick in
Mhm.
Greenville Springs, I think.
Was Bithlo
I didn't
close to
ride
you?
Bithlo. It's close, but a little bit further out.
Mhm.
And I think the few times I have gone down to Florida, I've drove from Jacksonville to Spider in Wildwood. Um,
Spider's a good
yeah,
track.
yeah. It
That
was
place
super low
is
key. That
awesome.
awesome. Yeah. Um, PAX is, a little bit closer to Daytona. But yeah, those, I mean, the WW, but I haven't ridden it yet since I started riding. It changed a little
Yeah.
bit.
Those jumps are
Yeah.
big at WW.
Yeah, those are
They're
massive. I would just go out there to
massive
watch.
for no reason.
Yeah, it's just huge. Everything. There is no like
Yeah.
in between. Like the middle jump and the jump like back in the like before I even had a bike.
Mhm.
After I moved out of Florida, I remember their middle like table. I'm just
Yeah.
like, you're just jumping for hours. Like it's insane. Like
You're just in the air forever.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, that stuff kind of freaks me out a little bit when it comes to like a track that's just super jumpy and like I'll do it. Like I know 17-year-old Dave would be like throwing up in his helmet right now. Like, why wouldn't you love the jump? But like, yeah,
right.
I don't. Just a super jumpy track to me now. Just seems so much like it's so much
So
work,
much
man.
work. Yeah.
It's so much work.
You
Oh,
gotta be all out because of how big it is. It's just like,
I
man,
know.
like
Oh my gosh, like, and it's crazy too because I always tell myself like, you know what, I'm just out here just having fun. Just ride the track, don't worry about the jumps until somebody come and jumps right next to me over it, and I'm
you're
like,
oh,
nope, I'm doing it.
that's the
Like
one
it is.
thing that's the
Ugh.
one thing I have to get over. Like I know like people race Loretta's, but qualifiers are at Millville. Like those jumps are not small, but then you go to Loretta's if you qualify, and like I'm just like, how do you? The age gap and talent is just like they're jumping, red bud for a qualifier at Rocco's Leap, and then going Loretta's to win. Like, man, you know,
It's gnarly.
yeah,
Yeah, it definitely is gnarly. Yeah, Redbud's a fun track. Though everything is massive at
yeah,
Redbud. Even like some of the jumps that you see the guys just like scrub and coast over, it makes you
right,
really realize how fast they're going. Because like
yeah.
walking that track, I'm like, oh, this is the tabletop. Like this is bigger than Largo's Leap. It looks like, you know what I mean?
The lead up to some of
Yeah.
those tabletops are crazy.
Goodness
Ironman's the
gracious.
same way though. That uphill triple it's massive.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
They
Yeah, there's a
just
lot of
crank
jumps that
the meanest scrubs off of it like it's just nothing.
like it's nothing. I know. Yeah, there's a lot of jumps that like I'll hit him only if provoked. Buddy Man's asking what kind of bike you ride in the chat there, James.
Yeah, so I have a '07 YZ125 that needs love. I have like a top end kit and all this stuff. I just never put
How
into
much
it.
do you want for that bike?
I'm not
Because
selling it, man.
I need it. I
I
need
don't
it
want to
all.
spend
I have too many projects right now in the garage anyway. But
projects.
I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
2-stroke. I have to get a
And
2-stroke.
then I have 2020 CRF 250R that's just like the get up and go electric start, have fun bike. So yeah, the '07 could use some love. So whenever I get around to tearing it down, I will, but I don't want to get rid of it.
Are you gonna get a new bike anytime soon? For the to replace
That's
the 50?
the Honda. That's what I've been trying to figure out because it's still like fairly new. It's not beat up. So I've been thinking about this year, like, do I want the Triumph? Do I want a different brand? Like, I
Mm,
like the Triumph because it's not like anything else. So it's not like
yeah.
it's just different. And I not like I need a new bike. We never need a new one, but the Triumph I'm looking at, I like. And then I have thought about the whole Austrian thing, but I'm not. Man, I just can't. I can't do it. The price, I'm just like. Man, that's a lot
So
for a 250.
Manny just bought a 350.
Okay. I think it broke up again. Yep. Oh, there you go. I heard you
See if
say
you can see
Manny
me.
bought a 350.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got me. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So Mari, Manny bought a 350 and immediately went through it. Did suspension, graphics, seats. Like I'm talking like 2-3 grand of suspension. And like the thing is mint, and he cannot get off that bike. So
What did he
he's
get? A
loving the
Husky or a
350. I'm
KTM?
thinking, he got a KTM.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yep.
Nice. Yeah.
So Lund is saying he knows the
Yeah.
guy, James. Lund,
Yeah, man. Like
hit up Lund, he'll hook you up, man.
hit up line. Yeah, when I
Hit up
when I
Lund.
first got my Honda, like I was looking at him, but then when the guy told me how much out the door, I was like, yeah, no, not the first bike. I can't do that, man. I just went
Hmm.
Japanese. But yeah, like I really would like the KTM. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The Triumph is nice though. I looked at it in person at Daytona. I think it was nice.
I think it's super dope. Papa Eckhart is in the chat himself. Ralph Eckhart, what's going on? He's saying get a Cowie. And Ben is saying he
Cowie.
loves the Cowie 250F.
And when I was making the decision, the Cowie wasn't even electric start yet when I bought the Honda. So that was my
Hmm.
other thing too. Like the Cowie is a pretty nice bike with electric
Yeah.
start, I think. So yeah. I'm
No,
not
it's
that big of a guy,
absolutely
so I don't need the tallest bike.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Mike McSwain is saying Godzilla is massive. That's an understatement. It is the biggest jump I think I've ever seen. I think it's
Yeah,
bigger than it feels like it's bigger than the Rocco's Leap
it
Man.
has to
Honestly,
be. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
it's just it's so big.
you can hurt your neck looking at how high they
Yeah,
they
you're
jump
literally just like
at. You
this.
just
Yeah,
straight up, like literally, this is the bike, and you just watching it. Yeah.
exactly. And I know the track's different, but of course, being like a complete super fangirl, like the fact that dude used to be able to do stuff on this 125 is nuts to me. Look at this. We got a legend that just hopped in. Boys and girls, this is someone who's near and dear to my heart. And I'm sure you've seen his content out there. We've shared his content for your better part of going on over a year now. And he is probably your favorite rider's favorite boot designer. It's the one, it's the only Michael J. Kicks, MJK in the house. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man? You started
How
saying
are
all
you?
that. I didn't know you were talking about me until you said boot. I appreciate it. I might have to have you do my voicemail or something, man. That's pretty high praise coming from you, man.
Oh, come on, man. You know we love you
Appreciate you.
over
Hell
here.
yeah, absolutely.
Hope to have you join us, guys and girls. If I'm telling you, 100%, check out some of the amazing boot creations that this guy has going on. You'll see us if you just go to our Instagram, you'll see us going crazy over all of his stuff. It's in our posts, it's in our stories. This dude is literally one of the most creative people I know. And when it comes to boot design, I mean, there is no better. For
Appreciate
those
that,
of
man.
you who don't know, just give us a quick like 30 seconds on how you got into where you are right now and like all the cool stuff, dude. Because really, your boots are mouth watering, and I
I
mean that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's flattering. I need to do this more often. This is pretty cool. I gotta throw this out there. I just left the NASCAR race in Phoenix. I would have jumped on a little bit earlier, and that was a heartbreaking day. So to go from a
uh,
high, we're leading the race with 4 laps left, something like that, and blew a tire with a 4 second lead. Pretty much,
no,
pretty much a done deal to win the race, and left rear tire just blew out, and that was the end of it. So to go from a pretty good high to almost to a really low to popping in here and getting compliments like that, man, I appreciate you.
we only got
Um,
you.
so I started painting shoes years ago, and one thing led to another. Actually, at this racetrack at Phoenix Raceway, I was talking with um, Brian, who I'd known for a while, and he said, "Hey, why don't we paint a pair of boots for Hayden?" And I said, "Yeah, I've never done those. Let's try it." And that was what 2.5 years ago for Mini O's, I think, and we did the blue, gold, and white pair, and then Cooper Webb called a month later and said, "Can we do a pair?" And it just kind of went from there. So I've done a bunch of them, and obviously got to work with guys like you and a lot of really just amazing people in the industry. So tons of NASCAR stuff, a lot of professional athletes. I do like Austin Eckler's cleats, a bunch of pro athletes on a lot of different levels, but a lot of just friends and people in the MJK family painting shoes for them and doing boots. And man, it's been a blast. Absolutely fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's super fun. And I'm gonna ask you probably the question you get all the time that I'm sure you hate.
Bring it. What kind of paint
Which
do
has
I use?
no, which has been your favorite pair of moto boots to do?
Oh, that's easy, man. I know exactly what pair that is. I just can't tell you.
I
I've
love
probably
that.
done I've probably done about 40 45 pairs.
Uh-huh.
And here's the interesting thing, is that every pair obviously is different, but every
Mhm.
pair, I mean, those things take like at least 15, sometimes 18, 20, sometimes 25 hours.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of the downside. But because
Mhm.
I'm so invested in it, and because of the process, you don't just paint them. People say, what kind of paint do you use? It's a magic
Yeah.
paint and it just sticks. So because of the process, it's actually really tedious. And
Mhm.
once I get to a certain point, it's like having another child. It's like you
Yeah.
spent so much time. So I would say that I remember every single pair that I've done
Mhm.
of boots.
Yeah.
Um, and the coolest part is the people that they're for, and when most of them, I'll leave that alone. But when they get them and they open them up, So really, it's the experience of someone seeing their pair
Yeah.
more so than I like this colorway.
Yeah. I love that. And I had the pleasure of taking some of your boots and presenting them last year at Houston to some lucky kiddos, some Groms that like, dude, when I showed them the boots and they saw them, their eyes. I mean, you saw the footage. They were just so stoked. Brendan Sipple's another person that comes to mind. Like coming off of an injury and to see the boots finally, he was like, holy crap! Like you could see that like the gears are turning. Like I'm back. This is awesome. This made my day. You know. So it was super cool to see that stuff. So I 100% agree. I don't know if I have my favorites, man. If I'm going to be honest, I've seen so many of the ones that you do. I got to say one of my top 3 probably are the Miami boots. Those are absolutely just cherry with the dollar bills all around it and stuff. And like the Miami Escape, and then probably Police First, the Chelsea boots. Tiffany, my bad. Tiffany color. Those were super cool, man. The Iron Mans for Sipple, man. Those were rad. Yeah. Those were absolutely rad. But yeah, every time I see a new pair, I'm like, all right, there's my new favorites. These are my new favorites, you know? So that's super dope. You're obviously a super fan of the sport, just like me and James here. We're super nerds for it. One thing I was asking James earlier, and I'll ask you this: who has really stood out to you this year in the season? I know you follow multiple different motorsports and stuff, but from the Supercross aspect, who's like really stood out to you so far?
Man, it's a tough question. I'll be honest. What stands out to me the most this year is, and I'm sure everyone's got their opinion. Everyone will argue with me on this, but I love how it's spread out. Like we had this ET3 run where it was like, yep, him. We had this 250 run where Christian Craig was just ran away with it. Obviously last year in Jet, what Jet did in outdoors. So to see it, I'm not saying it's even, but I'm saying you have 8 to 10 guys every Saturday night that could win the thing. Yeah. Like watching AP in San Diego. I think you were there with me, but watching AP in San Diego, who saw that coming? AP and his whole team did. Red Bull, his fans, Cowboy fans, right?
Yep, so, for sure.
To watch some of that, you know, because of outdoors last year, you're not surprised when Jet wins, but it's still when he doesn't win, you're thinking, man, that's some stuff that these guys are beating him. It's because I think the bar has been raised, and I think a lot of these people are rising to the top. So, I mean, there are some guys that are just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. That are having great season and then have a human moment, you know, to where they don't. I love seeing, you know, what happened to Austin Faulkner is absolutely, you know, that guy's been so solid and such a nice person. But to see some of these guys come back from injuries, like Colt's injury was the beginning of last year, or the year before. I mean, some of these big injuries, and these guys come back just to walk, just to ride, just to be competitive, but to actually get out there and compete with some of these guys. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I love seeing across the board how many guys are healthy and competitive at the same time.
Yeah, no, I agree too. It's the amount of guys that can bounce back in this sport, like you were saying, it's absolutely insane. When we were going over boot stuff, I saw James's eyes light up a little bit. I'll ask James first, and then I'll take it to the chat as well. So all you chat guys, send me your answers in. I want to see. But James, if you could have one custom pair of boots, what colors would you choose, and what boot would that be?
That's hard. So I like my Tech 7s. So I've never had a pair of Tech 10s, so I guess Tech 10s would be cool. But I think anything with just a red and black thing, regardless of gear, I love red and black. I don't know why, but just anything red and black, like whatever color scheme, whatever's on it, I'll make it match just red and black. I don't know why. That's why I picked the Honda, right? I don't know why. Red is always my favorite color. So like some like really, really bright red with a little bit of black probably be good for me, man. Because I feel like the boots are cool. I was talking to a friend the other day, like, it's like, man, I'm thinking about switching gear. What should I switch? He was like, it doesn't matter. You need a good pair of boots and a good helmet. Like the rest doesn't matter. Like, and I thought about it, like, yeah, nice boots, you know. But yeah, definitely all red. Some sort of all red for sure.
Gotcha. MJK, what would you choose, man? I mean, I know you got the lock on what boots you like and what colors and stuff. What would you choose from a designer standpoint?
That's a great question. I don't know. I like blue. I'm obviously wearing blue right now, but I like blues. It really depends. It is if it's something I'm painting that I want to hand off to somebody, like that's that's my stuff, and I'm proud of it. But as far as wearing something, I'm a red, white, and black guy myself, but I do like the blues. Some of the fades that I've done with the blues, like the blue and teal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And contrary to what might show on some of the boots and some of the photos, videos, stuff like that I've done, I'm a pretty simple, not bright color type of dude. But when you get multiple people saying I want purple and this and that, okay, we'll do that. But for myself, it'd probably be something pretty subtle. Maybe something like Justin Hill's boots. I think I think that's probably one of my favorite pairs.
I like
or
that.
or red, black, and white.
Some good answers. I think that's dope. Let's see. We'll take it to the chat. Ben saying you got some real talent. 100%. The CEO is asking if you take any public orders, and I'm going to say no unless things have changed. But I don't think we're doing public orders, correct?
I would love to. I could talk an hour on why I can't and why I won't. Or not won't, but why I can't. I've had people just keep bugging me, and in the most polite way, and I've done some for them. The problem is, monetarily, it's tough to paint a helmet, to spend 20-25 hours painting a helmet. You can take care of a helmet a lot better than boots. So to charge the appropriate price that makes it practical for someone to afford it makes absolutely no sense for my time.
Yeah.
And I have a fair amount of people that want them, so that makes me the bad guy of who do I pick out of that, to do something that I like doing rather than something I'm charging for. And it also is not, little known fact, it's not my career. So to take away time from some of these fun projects, to charge people to paint boots, I just feel like that would take away a lot from it. But man, I would love to. If I could knock these things out in 3, 4, 5 hours, I'd be doing them for anybody who wanted a pair. But maybe not on this one, but it would be fun to take a poll on what do you think the appropriate price would be for something like that. Because I have some people are like, man, I'd pay $500 for boots, and I'm like, 25 hours of my time plus the $600. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I've had people say $5,000 for a pair of boots, and you can do whatever you want, and I'll give you $5,000. I'm thinking that's more than polite. So that's the toughest part for me is if it's just a bunch of money, then it loses it. But I can only do so many of them. Like if I knocked out a pair every other week, that'd be a lot on top of my my career and shoes and all the stuff I do with NASCAR and some of these other sports. So it sucks, but the people that just kind of stand by and support and love the colors and all that stuff, that's super, super, super rewarding.
Yeah. Let's see.
So
Lon's asking, would you rather paint would you rather paint new boots or lightly used boots? What's a little easier to paint?
I've done 3 pairs, and I know that number for a fact. I've done 3 pairs of used boots because they were lightly used. And so I'm a nerd or a geek. I don't know which one, maybe both. And it's a process to me. So lightly used to a moto guy is like I wore them a couple times, no big deal. That changes the it changes the outcome of how the boots will look. And I inherit all of the scrapes, the scratches, the scars, all that stuff. So what looks great for almost any rider, any pro rider, any amateur rider, what looks great, a couple times used to me is beat up, and I inherit all of that stuff. So I might spend 20-25 hours, painting a pair of boots that's still used and still has scratches and still has dings and dents, stuff like that. So I would equate it to to spending $20,000 upgrading a car. Do you want to start with a brand new car, or do you want to start with a 30-year-old beat up car to spend $20,000 on? So I strongly prefer brand new. And I don't know that I would do another set of used boots. Those were very specific circumstances. So new.
Nice. I think we lost Dave there.
Oh, we lost Dave.
Bouncing in and out throughout he'll bounce back in shortly.
Nice. So, oh, there he is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah, these things we've been having technical difficulties all night.
Yeah.
It's been driving me into, I don't know what the problem is. But we'll find it.
There you go.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, personally, I would throw you a freshie out of the box, not even open. But I could never have you paint anything for me, because the main thing I would do is I would literally go put in a glass case and then put them in like a room that nobody would ever see or touch or like breathe air on them. So I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it justice. So I wouldn't even bother, man. I would literally put them in like gold plated glass case.
So the pair that you had me do for AJ, that you did
Yeah.
with him and did all that stuff a couple of years ago. I think he only wore those a couple times and then saved them. He just did a giveaway over Christmas, which I didn't know about that. He tagged me and all that, but so he gave that pair away. And actually, someone who's been following me for a while, super supportive, got that pair and reached out and was like, "I'm building a case. I'm not wearing them." So I'm
nice.
As soon as I have a minute, I really want to get back to that guy. I mean, I have, but not in depth. I want to give him all kinds of info and the process and all that stuff. So I'm jazzed about that. And there are a couple other ones.
I'm glad somebody got him. Yeah.
The Team USA pair that the guys signed that we split up, we did a couple years ago. And there's a couple other ones too that are basically just going cases. Which I mean, every boot that I do, every pair I should say, they're meant to be worn and they're durable. And I get the haters are out there, like, oh, I bet the paint just falls right off. Nah, read up, homie. Like, that's not how we roll. I bet one ride and they're done. Or you get people who are like, oh, try that with enduro. I'm like, I wouldn't do that for an enduro ride.
Why?
Why would you?
I'm gonna buy an old classic car from Barrett Jackson and go
Kentucky Derby
drag racing this. No, be smarter than that, bro. I'm not trying to trash him, but but no, I mean, I think all of them are able. Hayden Deegan still has his pair from 2.5 years ago, and the paint's still on there and all that. So they hold up well enough. David Pulley has worn his purple pair, the podium purples, probably
so much
50 times. Like, he wears them all the time.
And they still look good.
And you just hose them up. They fade. They're supposed to, but they hold up as well as the boots do. And I think that's something that people it's hard to accept. Otherwise, I'm not going to paint something that just falls off. Anybody could do that. You can grab a can of Krylon and paint up some boots if that's the case.
Sheesh. Yeah, I'm always blown away by how much work you put in. Let's see. Ben's asking, are you going to do some custom Jetson donut boots one day?
The short answer to that is no.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it
first. If you're familiar with who designed the donuts and who did all of that for him, nope, I will not.
Makes sense.
So I actually talked with their management about doing some shoes for them. I will not get into the whole the issue with one of the manufacturers, because that's a rabbit hole we don't need to go down. But they were all about it until they realized, like, I'm actually doing that at whatever level, and I think that whole thing changed really quick.
Gotcha.
And so I didn't think I'd get into politics painting some boots a different color, but that threw me right into that mix, and it has been kind of crazy ever since.
The sport can be a little bit weird that way, huh?
Or a lot bit weird that way. Yeah.
Or a lot bit. Agreed.
I think they think I'm trying to profit off of it, or that I'm, I'm trying to, sell boots. Or I don't really know what they think. But I do think it's fun. I won't name any company names, but I do think it's fun that when I come up with a design, 6 to 12 months later, that boot company comes up with a similar color.
Yeah.
And I'll get like 20, 30, 50 people tagging me like, MJK, these look like ones you did a year or two ago, or, you did it first, whatever. And I love the support, but it's kind of, I'm just like, let's not, this isn't I don't know. It's like political, type of drama kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah. The other thing is they'll throw some other colors that don't go in there.
Yeah.
And I get people like, why'd they do that? Why is the sole a different color? How are they putting these colors with those colors? And I'm just like, delete. Because again, it's drama. Like, you want to put some stuff that doesn't match together? Cool. Like, if that's your deal, that's your deal.
Yeah.
Could they reach out to me and say, can you just start doing our colorways? Can you just start designing our boots? Yeah. But pride doesn't allow that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so you get stuck with what you get stuck with.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything about it, because otherwise I'm a hater, or I'm, whatever it is. So to be honest, as soon as those DMs and inquiries and comments and all that stuff start coming up, I take a step back and say, hey, I'm doing mine and my people like them and we're having fun with it. So try to keep it fun.
I like that. I like that approach to it. And I get mired down with the drama and the this and that. Like it really keeps it. I'm sure it keeps it fun for you too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. James, you're right, man. Yep.
The CEO's asking, what do you do for NASCAR? I don't think a lot of people know. Shorty's out there. Oh, shout out to John Short out front right now on the LCQ. Shout out to Lund. Thank you for letting me know. John Short, Freddie Noren, and my fantasy guru, Mr. Tonti. The dude kept me in the running all season long. So shout out to that dude. But yeah, out front for John Short, it looks freaking phenomenal on that Cowie, man. Had a little stint on betas, but I'm stoked to see that he's back where he feels a little bit more comfortable and looks a bit more comfortable as well. Let's see, we're going to the chat. The CEO's asking, what do you do for NASCAR? A little background about how you got kind of into that whole program, Jared.
So with NASCAR, man, that's a long story. Back in the day, because I've always been a fan of NASCAR.
Yeah. Turned me into a fan as well because now I'm hooked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took you. Was that your first race?
First ever race.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to take you to your first race. That's super rewarding. Stuff like that for me is really rewarding.
Yes. Awesome first day.
So I've worked with probably maybe 25 or 30 drivers, and I've probably done 150 to 175 pairs of shoes for NASCAR drivers, team owners, crew, staff, things like that in the NASCAR community. And that goes back probably 6 years now, something like that. Maybe not that long, maybe five, 6 years, something like that. So I did a pair of shoes for Dale Earnhardt Jr. a while back. And those got noticed and a couple other people I did end up doing some shoes for, and I've developed some really, really strong friendships within the NASCAR community. A couple specific, I'm trying to not name drop or give too many details, but some of my best friends on this planet are in NASCAR. One of them specifically is a driver. It's one of the coolest communities I've ever been a part of, if I'm able to even say that I'm a part of it. But Fox reached out a couple of years ago and asked me to go to Charlotte, and we did a thing for like a style and fashion episode that they did, which is still on YouTube, and when a race gets rained out every now and then, they'll show it. It's all about the shoes, and they flew out to the house and had like a film crew at the house and went over some stuff. It's just really been a really cool outlet, and doing like some of the champ shoes and things like that. We did boots for last week in Vegas. Ryan Blaney got his boots, which were like a throwback to Cale Yarborough, famous NASCAR driver that passed away recently. So there's just a lot of tie-ins to some awesome people, and painting numbers on sides of shoes, and race car, maybe not race car themed, but colors and things like that. It's just been a really cool kind of crossover with the sneaker culture.
Oh, 100%. I think my favorites that you've done are like Rocco's look really cool, man. Rocco's look freaking awesome.
He wore them today.
Okay, I love it. Awesome.
He wore them today. He actually, if you go on his Instagram, he said he posted it, but he was like, "Come here, because I'm wearing some blue and white two-ways, some MJK two-ways, and he was wearing the red, black, and white, James. And he wore those today, and we did, took some pictures, and I love those. I love that pair.
Same. Yeah, those are absolutely fire. So normally we wrap it up after the LCQs and allow the guys to watch the mains without me jibber jabbering. Guys, do not forget, if you want to go behind the scenes, if you want to take your passion for the sport and accelerate that to the next level, check out thecollectivexp.com, at the Collective EX on Instagram, where you guys can join us for an internship program that's like no other, or a VIP fan experience that will be a once in a lifetime incredible opportunity for you guys, where you're making connections that you would not believe. You're part of the race team, like family, and you guys are part of the day's success for us and the race team that we work with. We've helped people in our internship program over 80% go on and do amazing things in the industry, like work with James Stewart for Supercross themselves and a number of other professional and semi-factory as well as factory teams. The collectivexp.com, let us take your passion and accelerate it to the next level and get you a gig of your dreams, or I had a great day at the races that you will never forget in a million years. And of course, all the funding that we raise goes right back to the privateers that really need it. Shout out to all of our sponsors: FXR Moto, Flow Vision Goggles, EVS, Speed and Sport Adventures, Overshare Advice and Planning, Evans Power Coolant, and of course the guys over at the Moto Academy. Shout out to both my guests. James, if people want to follow along with you in your journey to Loretta's and do some other cool stuff, where can we follow along? Where can we see you do some cool stuff? Show off the sneaker collection that I know you have. You're being humble about. He's being humble. He's being humble. This guy's got tons of shoes.
Yeah, so I don't have a Moto Instagram. I need to make one, but my personal Instagram is James Not Jimmy, but it's spelled unconventionally because the actual James Not Jimmy has like 0 followers and no posts, so I can't even use it. So it's James JamesNotJimmy. That's the Jimmy part. So James Not Jimmy. So yeah, just hit me up there. Give me a follow.
We'll post it below in the description as well.
Yeah, I stay humble with the sneakers, man. I fell back a little bit after COVID.
And MJK, I mean, you're always doing cool stuff. Everyone knows about you. But if we want to follow along with you, if we want to see some more cool stuff, if you want to pick your brain about the latest sneakers that are coming out that you want to hop into and do some cool stuff with, where can people find out more? And do you have anything cool coming up you can share with us?
There's a lot of really cool collabs. The problem is when you work with some of these professional athletes, it's on the down low, it's under wraps. That's not as fun. But my Instagram is Michael J Kicks. So at Michael J Kicks, just how it sounds. There are some fun ones coming up. There's a known country singer that we should be working with here pretty soon. I'm super excited about that. And then there's another one. If you've heard of the band Journey.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit.
A little bit.
That tiny indie band that no one knows about.
Yeah. So there's a band Journey that I've liked for a long time. And there's this singer that is the lead singer for Journey that we should be doing something here in the next couple of months before they tour out here in LA. So, or out there in LA. I'm in Phoenix now, but so yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff coming up. There's a couple boot projects that'll be fun. There's some stuff we're doing with VetMX. I'm really proud to be working with those guys.
Awesome.
But that's it. A lot of fun stuff coming up.
Love that. And of course, we're going to tag him below so that you guys can check out all of Jared's cool stuff that he's got going on. Thank you to you both. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to let you watch the mains without hearing me jibber jabber. Shout out to my awesome guests. They're doing cooler stuff than I am. So be sure to follow along, show them some love. Help boost their content because they're always doing amazing things. And I'm super stoked to call them boys. Again, we're going to be doing this, I think, in another 2 weeks. We're going to be at the races next weekend. We may be at Seattle too, but I'll let you guys know. Show our sponsors some love. Show our guests some love. Hit the subscription button and the bell as well. And we will see you guys on the next one. We thank you and take care.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Take care, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Nice
Appreciate
meeting you,
guys.
Michael. Later.